With the new uprise in DEMONFALL's popularity, I've decided to disclose my top secret #1 broken grinding method in DEMONFALL. What you're gonna need for this method is simply Tamari Balls. Tamari Balls is a fighting style exclusive to demons, sadly. So the only way you're gonna really get any use of this grinding method is if you're a demon. Now, the reason Tamari Balls are so broken is because they have high stun, they deal decent damage, and most importantly, they cancel bosses' moves. With this in mind, bosses like Kaigaku, you can easily just spam your M1s and continuously canceling his moves, and he just simply can't do anything. You're basically stun locking him forever. Now I'm gonna go over the pros and cons of this method. Starting off with the pros. It has high stun, so if you hit a ball and then you miss your second one, you could usually follow up with another one after that. Secondly, it cancels moves. That's amazing, it's perfect. With its decently high stun, by the time the boss is about to use his move, your ball has already been thrown and it will immediately cancel it. So like I said, you can just keep the boss in a loop and he just simply can't escape. The third pro is that it has a ragdolling move, so if you're in a dire situation and he's getting like too close to you, for example, you can simply right click and it'll ragdoll him and you can get away. And speaking of being in dire situations, the fourth pro is that it has a hyper armor ability that launches you into the air and ragdolls them. It's literally one of the best escape moves, maybe in the game, honestly. And it being paired up with one of the most broken grinding methods, it's just perfect. So whenever he gets too close or you get hit with one of his stun dash moves, you simply press your ability and you're out of there. Now let's move on to the cons. The first con is that it is really hard to hit sometimes. Depending on whether you're close or far, you're gonna have to aim your mouse a little up or a little low over the enemy's head, because aiming directly on the enemy usually results in the ball hitting the floor or just flying past them. Because if you've ever had to deal with Roblox mouse hit detection, it is very terrible, to say the least. If there's a part behind you, the ball will completely fly behind you. Like I said, if you aim too close to the ground, it'll simply hit the ground. And the #1 most annoying thing I've experienced is if he is near a wall and you hit him at that wall, it will usually hit the wall instead of him. I'm not sure why, but that's just the case. So the second con, and the last con actually, is that it consumes a lot of stamina. If you're just sitting there spamming your M1s over and over, eventually you're gonna run out of stamina. And at that point, you're kinda screwed. So you either have to run away until you get your stamina back, or just find a way to conserve your stamina. Which brings us on to my next point, is the good blood demon art pairings. Now, I'll go from least to best, which starting with the least best is any ranged blood demon art is a good pairing with this ability, because you are literally just spamming your M1s from a range, so having other ranged abilities will deal more damage. The only downside is that you will also be just consuming double the stamina. So unless you're using something like blood art where you have an awakening that regens your stamina, it's not very good. Now moving on to the best blood demon art to pair with this ability is Shadow. It is just simply the best. #1, it has an escape move, so you can easily get out of situations, not only with your ragdoll, not only with your hyper armor ball move, but also your shadow escape. Secondly, it has a dash move that also has hyper armor that ragdolls, so that is also a good escape move and it deals pretty good damage. Next, it has an ultimate which sucks them in, making them even easier to hit, but the best part of Shadow is that it drains stamina, allowing you to just continuously spam your M1s over and over, and by the time you run out of stamina, you can just click that ability again and boom, full stamina. So that is why I've deemed Shadow the best blood demon art to pair with this strategy. Now, we've talked about all the specifics, now let's get into the best situation you can be in to utilize this strategy. #1, you want to be alone. Being with a lot of people will cause Kaigaku to try and target them, and it'll just make him really hard to hit. You know, it's hard to hit a moving target. So your best option is to just be alone. You'll get most damage that way because you'll be consistently hitting him, and hey, you get all the drops. Number 2 is have shadow, obviously. It is the best blood demon art. I've been using this technique for a while, and it has always just been the best. Nothing else compares. Third is keep a medium length distance. Being too close will cause him to either grab you or use his stun move, which is just not good. And being too far, the balls take too long to travel. If he moves a little bit, then the ball will just miss him. So keep a medium length distance and be in an open area, preferably, to stay away from those walls. Walls are not your friend, alright? Now the last thing on the list is keep away from walls. Because like I just said, walls are not your friend. They fuck up your strategy. It's just not a good time. Now with all that being said, utilize this strategy while you can, because I'm sure it is going to get nerfed in the future. And while we're on the topic of the future, I have some videos planned in the works very soon. As you may or may not know, currently my setup is not ideal. My headset is dangling from one end and my microphone is literally my old busted headset placed on my desk, and I'm using its built-in microphone. So tomorrow I will be getting some replacements for these two things. So recording videos will be a lot easier, and I'll actually start, instead of doing voiceover videos, do real-time gameplay videos, and I have a couple ideas in store for DEMONFALL. So be sure to stay tuned for that, and be sure to subscribe because we are very close to 8K. You guys have been going crazy, and honestly, thank you so much for all the support you guys have been showing. It is amazing. And please be sure to like if you do like this content, because believe it or not, it really does let me know which type of content I should be making. If one video has way more likes than the other, then of course I'm going to be making more content on said video. That being said, I am going to make those 2 DEMONFALL videos I have in store, because they're definitely going to be very fun to make and very interesting indeed. So like I said, stay tuned for that, and thank you guys for watching.